Your Majesty is happy she has a copy cariner for herself, said the poor widow of the murdered man. But she is also unhappy she has a spare which will die without a home. The princess nodded. In that case, why not command your daemon tiger handmaiden called Carawata to replace the genitalia of your jealous cousin with what he fears and craves so much, your beautifully enhanced emergency copy. Wonderful idea, cried the princess. I don't want him causing any more trouble to other women. With a roar and a wave of Carawata's paw, this was done. Everyone was now restless to move, thinking that all was now resolved, when the delighted wizard boy announced he would take up the life of a courtesan, saying, I shall follow the example of King Bangasvana, who was made into a woman when he angered the god Indra. When Indra forgives him and offers to turn him back, he interrupted himself. You will keep my male genitals safe and alive for me? The Daemon King shook his head slowly. Anyway, continued the wizard boy with a shrug, Bangasvana refuses to be changed back into a man, saying he prefers to be female. Greek Teresias and Ali ibn Abu Talib have both written how women have 3 times the pleasure in lovemaking than men. That is quite some claim, said the princess. But sexual union without consent usually means the clitoris is not aroused. Then it is unable to protect the vagina's delicate lining from being rubbed raw. So I would say an aroused clitoris is a woman's guardian, for it ensures sex is pleasurable and safe and healthy. What about all these eels and these Timbu demonic serpents called Inyoka, called someone, and another heckler shouted, I bet the princess won't say where they came from. Hinny Nutipo snarled. These eels and Inyoka were mythical beasts Carawata and me have conjured from the womb of Mother Earth to protect our mistress. However, the tigress smiled, and everyone who saw this smile felt a vicarious chill shoot up their spines. With my lady's permission, on application, I can arrange for any woman to have the comforting protection of Inyoka, and for that matter, any boy who fears sexual assault from someone in a position of power and bogus respectability. What a surprise for a rapist to be confronted by an Inyoka who will bite off and eat his member. And we could arrange for an Inyoka to accompany your cousin, said Nightbloom Basia, to keep a watchful eye on him, with your emergency cariner, and to bring back here any children your cousin has with your emergency cariner, for they are royal and belong to you, said Mungbean. At this, the boy wizard turned appealing eyes to the princess, who made it clear she had no trust in him to care for children because he had murdered the poor farmer. By the by, if any person here has been injured, called out the princess, My daemon tiger handmaidens will heal and restore any wounds. Is anyone hurt? Asked Hinny New Tipo, her face full of concern. Some of the warriors present complained of bites on their legs and arms, fingers and toes, and a couple said they'd been bitten on the nose, and one said they had been head-butted in the groin, but not by a serpent. These minor cuts were easily remedied by a dab of vinegar. Then the princess held up her cinnabar locket. When my daughter reaches her first lunar day of womanhood, I shall arrange for her to have her own copy of one of these in remembrance of all that has happened this day. With that, all the remaining people went back to the palace for dinner, with the daemon king deep in conversation with the widow of the murdered man. The eels and serpents slithered away into the forest. The tiger handmaidens went home, and St. George tentatively offered the princess a lift on his charger, what. As for the cockatoo, she was set up a tree, panting for breath and shaking her bare bum. Meanwhile, beneath the branch below, a jackal watched her whilst spitting out feathers onto the ground. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my story. Please subscribe or get a notification. I post once a week. And so until then, bye for now.